Om Sai Ram, Sai Satcharitra Chapter 3, Sai Baba Sanction and Promise, Assessment of Work to Devotees, Baba's Story as Beacon Light, His Motherly Love, Rohilla's Story, His Sweet and Nectar-like Words, Sai Baba's Sanction and Promise. As described in previous chapter, Sai Baba gave his complete assent to writing of Sai Satcharitra. I fully agree with you regarding the writing of such charitra. You do your duty, don't be afraid in least. Study your mind and have faith in my words. If leelas are written, the avidya will vanish, and if they are attentively and devotedly listened to, the consciousness of the worldly existence will abate, and strong waves of devotion and love will arise. And if one dives deep into my leela, he would get precious jewel of knowledge. Hearing this, author was much pleased, and he at once became fearless and confident, and thought that the work was bound to be success. Then turning to Shama Madhavrao Deshpande, Sai Baba said, "If a man utters my name with love, I shall fulfill all his wishes, increase his devotion, and if he sings earnestly my leelas and deeds, him I shall beset in front and back and all sides. Those devotees who are attached to me, heart, soul, will naturally feel happiness when they hear these stories. Believe me that if anybody sings my leela, I shall give him infinite joy, everlasting contentment. It is my special character to free any person who surrenders completely to me, who does worship me faithfully, and who remembers me and meditate on me constantly. How can they be conscious of worldly objects and sensations who utter my name, who worship me, and who think of my stories in my life, and who thus always remember me? I shall draw out my devotees from the jaws of death. If my stories are listened to, all disease will be got rid of. So hear my stories with respect, and think and meditate on them, assimilate them. This is the way of happiness and contentment. The pride and the egoism of my devotee will vanish, and the mind of the hearer will be set at rest. And if it has wholehearted and complete faith, it will be one with supreme consciousness. The simple remembrance of my name Sai Sai will do away with sins of speech and hearing. Different work assigned to devotees. The Lord entrusted different work to different devotees. Some are given the work of building temple, matha, ghats, or rivers. Some are made to sing the glory of God. Some are sent to pilgrimage. But to me allotted the work of writing such charitra. Being a jack of trade but master of none, I was quite unqualified for this job. Then why should I undertake such a difficult job? Who can describe the true life of Sai Baba? Sai Baba's grace alone can enable one to accomplish this difficult task. So when I took up the pen in my hand, Sai Baba took away my egoism and wrote himself his stories. The credit of relating these stories therefore goes to him and not to me. Though Brahmin by birth, I lacked the two eyes, the sight of Shruti and Smriti, and therefore was not at all capable of writing such charitra. But the grace of Lord makes a dumb man talk, enables a lame man cross mountain. He alone knows the knack of getting things done as he likes. Neither the flute nor the harmony knows how the sound is produced. This is the concern of the player. The oozing of Chandrakanta jewel and surging of the sea are not due to the jewel and the sea, but to the rays of the moon. Baba's story as beacon light. Lighthouses are constructed at various places in the sea to enable the boatman to avoid rocks, dangers, and make them sail safely. Sai Baba's stories serve a similar purpose in the ocean of worldly existence. They suppress nectar in sweetness and make our worldly path smooth and easy to transfer. Verse. Blessed are the stories of the saint. When they enter our hearts through the ears, the body consciousness or the egoism of the sense of duality vanish. And when they are stored in the heart, doubts fly out to all sides. Pride of the body will fall, and wisdom will be stored in abundance. The description of Baba's pure fame and the hearing of the same with love will destroy the sin of the devotees. And therefore, this is the simple sadhana for attaining salvation. The sadhana for Krita age was Samadhama. For Treta age was sacrifice. For Dwapara worship, and for Kali present age is singing the name of Lord and glorifying the Lord. This last sadhana is open to all the people of four varnas. The other sadhanas, that is yoga, yajna, jnana, dharana, are very difficult to practice. But singing and hearing the stories of the Lord Sai Baba is very easy. We have to turn our attention towards them. The listening and singing of the stories will remove the attachment to the sense and their objects, and will make the devotees dispassionate, and will ultimately lead them to self-realization. With this end in view, Sai Baba made me or helped me to write his stories, Sai Sat Charitamrita. The devotees may now easily read and hear the stories of Sai Baba. While doing so, meditate on him, his form, and thus attain devotion to Guru and God, Sai Baba. Get detachment and self-realization. In the preparation of writing this work, Sai Sat Charitamrita, it is Sai Baba's grace which has accomplished everything, making use of me as a mere instrument. Motherly love of Sai Baba. Everybody knows how a cow loves her infant calf. Her udder is always full, and when the calf wants milk and dashes at her udder, out comes the milk in an unceasing flow. Similarly, a human mother knows the wants of the child and feeds it at her breast at the time. In case of dressing and adoring the child, the mother takes particular care to see that the child is well done. The child knows or cares for nothing about this, but the mother joy knows no bound when she sees the child beautifully dressed and adored. The love of the mother is peculiarly extraordinary and disinterested, and has no parallel. Sadguru feels this motherly love towards their disciple. Sai Baba had the same love towards me, and I give an instant below. In 1961, I retired from government service. The pension that was settled in my case was not sufficient to maintain my family decently. On Guru Purnima, 15th of Ashada day of that year, I went to Shirdi with other devotees. There Mr. Anna Chinchonkar, of his own accord, prayed to Baba for me as follows: please look kindly on him. The pension he gets is quite insufficient. His family is growing. Give him some other appointment, remove his anxiety and make him happy. Baba replied, he will get some other job, but now he should serve me and be happy. His dishes will be ever full and never empty. He should turn all his attention towards me and avoid the company of atheist, irreligious and wicked people. He should be meek and humble towards all and worship me whole heart and soul. If he does this, he will get eternal happiness. The question, who is he whose worship is advocated, is already answered in a note on Who is Sai Baba in the prologue at the beginning of this work. Rohila story. The story of Rohila illustrates Sai Baba's all embarrassing love. One Rohilla, tall and well built, strong, a bull, came to Shirdi wearing a long kafani and was enamored of Sai, who stayed there. Day and night he used to recite in loud and harsh tone, Allahu Akbar, God is great. Most people of Shirdi were working in their field by day, and when they returned to their homes at night, they were welcomed with Rohilla's harsh cry and shout. They could not get sleep and felt much trouble and inconvenience. They suffered in silence this nuisance for some days, and when they could stand it no longer, they approached Baba and requested him to check the Rohilla and stop the nuisance. Baba did not attend to their complaint. On the contrary, Baba took the villagers to the task and asked them to mind their own business and not the Rohilla. He said to them that the Rohilla had a very bad wife who tried to come in and trouble the Rohilla and himself. But hearing the Rohilla's prayer, she dared not enter, and they were at peace and happy. In fact, the Rohilla had no wife, but by his wife Baba meant durbuddhi, bad thoughts, as Baba liked prayers and cries to God better than anything else. He took the side of Rohilla and asked the villagers to wait and suffer the nuisance, which would abate in due course. Baba's sweet and nectar-like words. One day at noon aarti, the devotees were returning to their lodging when Sai Baba gave the following beautiful advice. Be wherever you like, do whatever you choose. Remember this well, that all what you do is known to me. I am the inner ruler of all. Seated in their heart, I envelop all creatures, the movable, immovable world. I am the controller, the wire puller of all, the show of this universe. I am the mother, origin of all being, the harmony of three gunas, the propeller of the sense, and the creator, preserver and destroyer. Nothing will harm him who turns his attention towards me, but Maya will lash and weep him who forgets me. All these insects, ants, the visible, movable, immovable world is my body and form. Hearing these beautiful and precious words, I at once decided in my mind to serve no man henceforth but my Guru only. But the reply of Baba to Anna Chinchonkar query, which was really mine, that I would get some job, began to revolve in my mind, and I began to think whether it would come to happen as future events showed. Baba's word came true, and I got a government job, but that was for a short duration. Then I became free and solely devoted myself to the service of Guru Sai. Before concluding this chapter, I request the reader to leave out the various hindrances, that is, indolence, sleep, wandering of mind, attachment to sense, and turn their whole and undivided attention to the stories of Sai Baba. Let their love be natural. Let them know the secret of devotion. Let them not exhaust themselves by other sadhanas. Let them stick to this simple remedy, listening to Sai Baba's stories. This will destroy their ignorance and will secure them for salvation. A mystery may stay in various places, but he always thinks of the buried treasure. So let Sai Baba be enthroned in the heart of all. In the next chapter, I shall speak of Sai Baba's advent in Shirdi. Botu Shri Sai, peace be to all. Sainath Maharaj ki Jai.